Yo, what's going on everybody? Furio here, and today I'm going to be reacting to a video from Wilson Tsai. He made this video a couple weeks ago. It's called 10 Most Undisputed NBA Champions All Time with No Asterisk Involved. And I hope the 2022 Warriors are on there. Let's check it out.
Every NBA champion, critics love to make excuses, discount the team's greatness, downgrade their efforts, but every season, only one team comes out on top. But to get to the mountain, other foes deal with pain, injuries, suspensions, making the path for the eventual champions easier to win it all. Not everybody will be satisfied with every NBA championship team. Endless nonsense debates that lives on, the foolish arguments, oh you only won cause this guy got hurt from another good team, or the refs bailed you out from winning in controversial ways in a long series.
Hey, that 2002 Lakers Kings series. Hey man, there's a legitimate argument that the refs were,
Games pass, results will live on. The present is when every little thing counts. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. There will never be a champion that won in the most perfect imaginable way, where every good player on all the opposing teams were fully healthy. That's almost never realistic after a long regular season. Last couple years, the biggest asterisk in regarding the 2022 Golden State Warriors. John Moran getting hurt, missing half the series.
Okay, bro. We were up even when Ja was hurt, and even if he was there, I still believe that he would have been attacked on offense. And also I felt like the Grizzlies were not really ready. I felt like this year was not really their year. I don't agree with the Warriors having an asterisk for that though. Like, to be honest, nah.
A nail-biter game 4 with Memphis self-destructing down the stretch with Dylan Brooks. Memphis gave Golden State just as
Dylan Brooks was Dylan Brooks in that game. Well, for most of the series anyway, but like that's not anything on the Warriors.
Problems without Moran as Boston 2021 Durant's foot game 7 a banger.
Alright, bro. You know what? KD decided to wear shoes one or two sizes too big. Hey man, I mean, I don't know, man.
And injured Irving allowed the
that is true though. Kyrie and Harden got hurt.
2020 bubble, once in a century outcome where the whole world was impacted, and of course 2019 Durant's injury along with Clay breaking down allowed Toronto to survive Golden State. But today, let's take a look at 10 of
and that's why I just don't really like asterisks like that, because you can really make it for honestly any season, any playoff run. You could make an asterisk for anything. Like, you could reach on just about everything.
Undisputed NBA champions, well deserved, without any asterisk, starting with the 1977 Portland Trailblazers. The biggest asterisk involved after the crazy incident of Game 2 of Philly on its way taking a commanding 2-0 lead, the turning point of the series. In the 96-76 lead, Daryl Dawkins a hard foul on Bobby Gross, resulting in Dawkins accidentally punching teammate Doug Collins in the face, hooting the stitches. Maurice Lucas then punches Dawkins from behind, both squared up, ejected, no suspensions from either side, so
imagine if this was happening in like those type of fights were happening in a social media era. It'd be a story probably on like the news or something, to be honest.
The turning point, the Sixers lost their chemistry after the incident in the locker room, lit a fire for the underdog Blazers, who took the next 4 games. The first season where both the NBA and ABA merged, so the very best guys were all in the NBA, giving every team a fair shot at competing for the title. First year head coach Dr. Jack Ramsey, plus a healthy Bill Walton for the postseason. The 25-year-old sensations in the top 75 for his dominating presence in a short time, helping Portland win his first ever title. The franchise still hasn't won anything.
Yeah, I think his career would have definitely been all time if it wasn't for injuries. For sure.
6 years and counting, the defensive domination and intelligence made his teammate better. A motivated Lucas dropped 27 in Game 3, beat out Philly again in Game 4 by 32. Blazer Mania, an epic time for the city. The momentum carried on, well-earned title, also swept Kareem's Lakers in the conference finals and David Thompson's Nuggets in the semis. No flukes about this one. The 1980 Los Angeles Lakers, landing the #1 pick Magic Johnson when you already have the best player in the game's almost not fair. If anything, if
Yeah.
the Sixers would have won the series, it would have been one of the biggest asterisks all time. Game 5 tied 2-2 at the
Yeah,
Forum.
didn't Kareem get
Kareem
hurt?
badly sprained his ankle
Yeah.
after hitting a shot, limped horribly, but still managed to play 41 minutes, a 40-point, 15-rebound, 4-block masterpiece. The asterisk should have been Magic winning Finals MVP. Jabbar did not travel on the road to Game 6 through 5 games. Magic's numbers of 17.5 points, 10.5 boards, 9 assists, an absolute stellar performance.
Sheesh.
But Kareem averages of over 33 and 14, 4.5 blocks. Combined with the more difficult travel logistics back in the day, LA kept him home to avoid 2 long flights back and forth. Everybody assumed the Sixers would win Game 6, but the 20-year-old Magic, a sensational masterpiece of 42, 15, and 7, dominated from start to finish, comes out to play center, rips the heart out of the Sixers, leaving no doubt who the better team was and how he got it done without the captain. The 1984 Boston Celtics, biggest asterisk involved, Magic Johnson turning into Tragic Johnson. His most embarrassing series, most critique for melting under pressure, uncharacteristic-like, while LA appeared to be the more talented team, from the worthy costly turnover that would have likely put LA up 2-0, to Magic running the game clock, to Boston surviving, also Johnson having a costly turnover Game 4, to the 2 missed free throws. At the end of the day, a superstar choking under pressure doesn't make the winner from the other team an asterisk. Due to Magic's incompetency, the finals became super tested in Game 5. Boston proved to be the tougher team, 100 degrees weather, no AC. Larry Bird proved to be better and tougher than anybody else. Celtics won that series fair and square, although the Lakers could have easily swept Boston. If Magic avoided those tiny mistakes, combined with Bird's energy calling out his team after the Game 3 loss, made the seas tougher, the turning point of that series. The following year, the Lakers didn't win it so consensually, although they beat Boston in 6 a month before the finals rematch. Larry Bird got into a fight at a bar. Bartender claimed he was sucker punched by Bird. As Larry played subpar in the finals, averaged under 24 and 9, 45% shooting, Kareem outplayed him. Bird not his normal self. Boston might have won it if it wasn't for that incident. 1986 Boston Celtics, none whatsoever.
Yeah, that's like the best
if
Celtics
Michael Jordan
game.
disguised as God dropped 63 and
ever.
still couldn't win a playoff game at Boston Garden, no other team was gonna beat Prime Bird, Prime McHale, Prime Parrish on their home floor. Backcourt weapons of Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge, with 6 men, a rare healthy Bill Walton off the bench, went 11-1 in the East playoffs before beating the surprising finals opponent of the Twin Tower Rockets. Too young and lacked experience. Boston's prime bigs overwhelmed Sampson and Hakeem, both outplayed by Prime McHale and Prime Bird. John Lucas being waived in March due to a failed drug test, nearly averaged 16 points, 9 assists, but still wouldn't have mattered. The Celtics left no doubt who the best team was in 86, always in the discussion as greatest team all time. The 1993 Chicago Bulls, clearly the dynasty of the 90s, unstoppable in both 91 and 92. The first title, the injuries to James Worthy and Byron Scott each missed the closeout game. Scott ineffective all series. Bulls still would have won that series regardless, given they were already up 3-1. That was a very small asterisk. While in 92, international superstar Arvydas Sabonis might have been a top 10 player in the world, but not in the NBA yet. Played his prime at Real Madrid instead of Portland, who drafted him in 86. Given those Blazers teams were contenders without him, Portland might have beaten Jordan if Sabonis was there. While the 93 Bulls left no doubt who the better team was and who had the better player. Jordan Game 1 in Phoenix, the Suns played nervous. Bulls led by 14 after 1, won the game by 8. Barkley missed 16 of 25 shots, while Jordan had 31. His worst performance those finals. Although Barkley had
I mean that was his worst performance. Didn't he average like 40 in that series? Like, insane.
Excellent Game 2 of 42. Jordan matching point for point. The Bulls' 3-point win. Charles also dealt with an elbow injury, but the series was all but over after a 2-0 Bulls lead. Although Charles' sons shown resiliency, being fearful of Jordan's presence. Phoenix left John Paxson open in Game 6, nailing the dagger, which still gives the fan base nightmares to this day. A sweet repeat for
41,
MJ.
8, 41, nearly 9 rebounds, 6 assists, nearly 2 steals.
The 1996 Chicago Bulls. Too bad George Karl didn't want his best player to guard MJ the first 3 games of that series, after Chicago went up 3-0 before Seattle started to play much better. A defensive-minded series. 4 of the 5 players in the finals all defensive first team. Slow pace. Peyton dealt with a torn calf muscle. 20 minutes a game. Reserve Nate McMillan wasn't available for 2 games. Defenses got away with much more back in those days. Greatest defensive point guard all time. In fact, it contained the greatest player all time. holding MJ to under 24 points a game, under 37% shooting the last 3 games, after Jordan
Dang.
averaging over 32 the first 15 postseason games. The worst mistake by Coach Call, looking to prioritize offense, but Peyton struggled due to the Bulls being the best defensive team in the league. GP's quickness, strength, compared with his size and speed, allowed Seattle to get more aggressive, while Jordan's teammate Pippen had the opportunity to step up but struggled, averaged less than 16 points, 34% from the
Yikes.
field. These 96 Sonics played the best defense on Jordan and Pippen as any other team ever did, but struggled scoring themselves against the Bulls' length. Jordan an ugly 5 of 19 game 6, but Seattle limited to 75 points, 5 of 24 from deep. Rodman a rebounding animal with 19 in the final game, including 11 offensive. At the end of the day, the Bulls still won in a convincing 6-game series. The Rodman signing proved to be the difference maker. The 2001 Los Angeles Lakers, the best Kobe and Shaq played as a duo. All 4 teams they beaten won 50 plus games, including 8 straight to finish off the regular season, won his first 11 in the playoffs, giving them a 19-game win streak, ran over the Blazers round 1, a team they nearly lost to the previous year after somewhat of a controversial Game 7. While 0-1 Kobe and Shaq clicked on all cylinders, both took turns dominating, swept the 55-win Kings with Kobe averaging 35, O'Neal over 33 and 17, swept number 1 seed Duncan Spurs, Kobe over 33 a game, O'Neal 27. After Philly stunned LA, led by Iverson's miraculous 48-game 1 in an OT win, Philly only down 3 with 2:15 left of game 2. Iverson went 0-4 from the line that game. Sixers down 1 with under 2 minutes left of game 3. Although Philly came close, they were never truly gonna beat the Lakers in those finals. Even if they would have went up 2-0 or 2-1, Kobe and Shaq just too unstoppable. The 2011 Dallas.
Yeah. And I always wonder, like, what if Kobe and Shaq didn't break up as early as they did? Because I believe the 04 is when they split up, but what if they went through like 05, 06? I think they could have made another finals run, at least. Another, like, let's say from like 04 to 07. I think they can at least go to one finals and maybe win one. But yeah, next one. Yeah, Mavs.
Mavericks,
Yeah.
led by the brilliance of Dirk Nowitzki at the height of his powers. The excuse about how bad LeBron played, the Mavs played a lot of zone, everybody clicked at the right
Yeah, they
time,
played a lot
lots
of
of
team ball.
perimeter shooting with defensive presence Tyson Chandler. Nowitzki wasn't even 100% in the finals, having the flu and still won. The roster of Sean
Man.
Marion, Jason Kidd, Chandler, and Stojakovic, constructed from past playoff rivals, many written off the Mavs, even picked Portland to beat them in round 1. Nowitzki and Terry, combined with all the role players, lit the Lakers up from the perimeter.
Yeah, didn't they
Stojakovic got
sweep
his
the
revenge
Lakers?
from what happened in 2002. Jason Kidd's revenge from the 02 finals. Team ball and threes caused LA's demise. Dirk balled out of his mind against OKC, showing the experience and clutchness, got revenge over Wade from the 06 finals. The title secured
Mm.
Nowitzki's legacy as one of the all-time greats.
Yeah, that's one of the uh most impactful rings ever, I would say. And more meaningful rings ever. I'd say like one that's kind of on its par is really like 2021 with Giannis. But man, that really saved Dirk's legacy. Because if you really think about it, if Dirk retired, just kind of like being in the playoffs, but never getting really to that point again, like it was in 2006, um, his legacy would not be the same. Just say that.
Emphasized the importance of a 7-footer having the ability to shoot the 3 and erase his playoff choking reputation in
Yeah,
past postseasons. The
because
20
'07, man, when they lost to the Warriors, it's not good.
13 Miami Heat. Surprisingly, this is not an asterisk. The Spurs were healthy, just a bunch of unclutched moments and poor coaching decision by Pop, benching Duncan on defense,
Yeah,
leading to the
that was so not that was just awful by Pop, and I think Pop is the greatest coach ever, but that was just a really dumb mistake on his
improbable
part.
Bosh offensive rebound, Ray Allen Game 6 bomb that changed everything. Two of the very best teams,
Yeah, like
San
imagine
Antonio.
if that doesn't go in. Imagine if Ray doesn't hit that. We're probably thinking like, I don't know. If Ray doesn't hit that, I would say the Heat core is labeled as a failure. if we're being real.
Antonio a better bench and team
But
chemistry. Miami relied on
he
the
pulled it out.
superpowers of James, the talent of Wade, and Bosh being the third option, with shooters to complement LeBron's game. Both teams healthy, there were no bad calls by the refs that decided the outcome of that game. One minor controversial stoppage from Joey Crawford after Allen Street wanted to make sure to review it was indeed a 3 before continuation for the Spurs. A
Yeah, and
reasonable decision, a
yeah.
championship well earned for Miami, overcoming all obstacles, combined with bad
Dang,
decisions on the
Bosh
Spurs' part.
packed
Plus,
Danny
Tim
Green.
Duncan's missed bunny in Game 7 led to the redemption of the 2014 San Antonio Spurs, who blasted Miami last 3 games
Yeah.
non-competitively. From asserting Boris Diaw to the starting lineup led to offensive mastery, ball movement at its finest, outside shooting. Everybody got a share of the pie. Many made excuses for Wade being banged up. While he was a little older and less explosive,
Yeah.
the big three still play solid against Indiana.
Yeah, like going from 2013 to 2014, like just watching that, like as a kid, not really knowing, not really like knowing about like injuries and all that. Um, it was really weird just seeing like the Spurs kind of like dogging the Heat in a way.
The bench of Birdman, Rashad Lewis, Haslam,
LeBron
Allen,
with
and
them leg
Vadier, too
cramps.
old. The AC malfunction game 1 forced LeBron having cramps, played 5 minutes in the fourth. Then San Antonio went on a massive run. A power failure, but every other player appeared fine. Miami also did indeed end up winning game 2. If the Spurs lost game 1,
It was
they
not
would
because
have
of
likely
Bosh.
rebounded and won the next game. But winning games 3, 4, and 5 in a no contest showdown, no ifs and buts about San Antonio demolishing the Heat on all levels. Some of the best basketball to have ever been played. Honorable mentions includes the 1959 to 1966 Boston Celtics, with the
Bill
exception to
Russell.
65 due
Rest
to
in
Elgin
peace.
Baylor being injured for the finals and West being a
Elgin
one-man
Baylor
show.
also rest in
Despite
peace.
having 8 to 9 teams back in those days, it was a lot harder to make the NBA. Given the limited amount of players and roster spots, many wouldn't include these undisputed champs. There also wasn't any ABA until 1967 to argue with. The Celtics dynasty prevailed in every clutch Game 7 moment you can imagine, led by the 11-time champion, the late great Bill Russell. Thank you so much for watching this video. Which one of these was the most undisputed NBA champions all time in your opinion? Let me know in the comments below. I love all of you. See you next time.
Yeah, great vid. I'd say probably the Mavericks one. I think the Mavericks one, that was just like you cannot argue anything at that point. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share maybe, if you're feeling generous, and peace.